Good morning. Today is Sunday, February 25th. My name is Jillian Major, and I'm a Sunday school teacher here at First Congregational Church, United Church of Christ in Muskegon, Michigan. Each week, I'll share a story and an affirmation from the Progressive Christianity curriculum, which First Congregational Church has purchased, but we do not own the copyrights to. Our lesson this week is on perseverance, and the affirmation is as follows. I will keep my energy moving and finish what I start. The story today is Thomas Edison Never Quit. Thomas Edison was the youngest child in a busy, noisy household. He had 6 older brothers and sisters. As soon as he could talk, he began to ask questions like, how does that work and why does that happen? He discovered that he usually had to figure out the answers himself. He asked questions all through his life and he worked hard to find the answers. Thomas had so many questions and so much energy that school was a problem. His mother knew it wasn't the right place for Thomas, so she took him out after 3 months and he never went back. But Thomas studied and learned with his mother's help. He diligently tried to read every book in the local library and discovered his favorite subject was science. By the time he was 12, he had read adult books on chemistry and physics and had set up a laboratory for experiments in the basement. His first job was working for the railroad, selling candy and newspapers to the passengers on the train. Whenever he could, he did experiments with his equipment in one of the baggage cars, and this led to trouble. One day, some chemicals spilled when the ride got bumpy, and the car caught fire. No one was hurt, but his boss was very angry, and Thomas was not allowed to work on the train anymore. He sold the candy and newspapers when he got off the train. After Thomas jumped on the train tracks and saved a little boy one day, the grateful father taught him to work the telegraph machine. Thomas immediately started working on ways to improve the telegraph. He once said, "I'll never pick up an item without thinking of how I might improve it." That's how Thomas Edison got to be one of the most famous scientists in the world, and he never stopped improving things. The light bulb was one of Thomas's greatest challenge. Electricity had to go through wires and then over a small thread of filament which would heat up and glow. The filament had to be just right or it could not work. Edison wanted to make filament which was strong enough to last a long time, would glow brightly, and not burn up quickly. It also had to be a material that was easy to work with, affordable, and safe. Thomas tried every kind of material he could think of. He used every kind of plant fiber he knew, and then he tried combining different kinds and testing each combination. When those didn't work, he ordered plants from other places, such as the Amazon rainforest, and he tried all of these. After testing a few hundred different kinds of filaments, Thomas could have quit. It was tedious, detailed work that had to be done very carefully. But Thomas patiently kept trying. For 2 years, he and his lab assistants kept making new filaments and testing how long they lasted and how brightly they glowed. After testing hundreds, then thousands of filaments, Edison found one that worked better than all the others. He had created, checked, and discarded about 6,000 filaments before he found the right one. Finding the right filament was important, but that wasn't enough for Thomas. He also tried thousands of ways to make the glass bulb which held the filament. He didn't stop there either. He figured out how to put the electrical wires into homes and how to make a switch that would turn the lights on and off. He designed the power station to bring the electricity where it was needed, and Edison didn't quit until it was safe and practical for people to use. Of course, then he worked on ways to improve it all. In his lifetime, Thomas worked on thousands of different scientific projects, inventions, and improvements on previous inventions. Scientists all over the world use his methods and his laboratories as models for their own work. Many people didn't even realize that the hardworking Edison was almost completely deaf. But Thomas didn't let that bother him. He said it helped him to concentrate. Thomas never stopped asking questions and looking for answers. He once said, "If we all did the things we are really capable of doing, we would literally astound ourselves."